How you doing, YouTube? It's Archimedes. House is wide open. In case y'all haven't noticed, I'm in shorts. It was a staggering 75 degrees today. It's been wonderful. So on that account, I have been actually doing a little bit of yard work. Well, I say a little bit of yard work. It's actually been more or less, I've just been watering the yard all day. But I did do a bit of work in the garage. I haven't really had much energy for a whole lot of anything else. I did come in here and do like a little bit of sweeping, a little bit of cleaning up, and I haven't had much energy throughout the past couple weeks. I've been pretty sore. I really need to go to the chiropractor, which that is happening tomorrow morning. Probably leave here around 6. Hopefully I can get where I need to be by 8, or at least it took that long the other day, but that was in a snowstorm. And in case you haven't noticed, I've got my red tool chest moved in between my 2 overhead doors. I've only had it like this for maybe a couple hours or so. And I'm really thinking that I'm gonna like it. Especially, I mean, more often than not, if I pull my pickup in here, park it for the night or whatever, I usually actually back it in. And that was actually one of the main intentions for this light up above, was to have a light where I need it, if I have the hood open, if I'm in here working, things like that, with the door shut. Now, if it's somewhat in a position like it is today, where it's 75 degrees outside, you're wearing shorts and short sleeve shirt, you might as well just leave it outside. I can nose it up to the door, work on it, but at least this way I'm not walking clear across the shop to grab a tool, clear across back, need wrong size, whatnot. Instead of just doing that, you just come right in. I feel like I'm pretty confident that I'm actually gonna like the tool chest being here versus somewhere else in the shop. Also, I'm actually thinking that I may or may not, with these 2 cabinets, get rid of those. Of course, once I can get some more steel, I'm gonna build another workbench, probably not as complicated as this one. And I don't know if you've noticed, I've got the pegboard mounted. I did make some cuts here, and just out of curiosity to see what it was gonna look like, kind of hung some of my cordless drills, my impact. I've got my drill press on here, and I still need to do a little bit more welding, and then I still need to do a little cabinet work and finish the drawers. Once again, still haven't had the energy, but I think what I'm wanting to do with this side, once I get this one finished, obviously, is once I do this side, I'm probably not going to go as complex as I have on this side. If anything, I'm thinking I may do a backboard for sure, and I'm gonna do some cabinets underneath. Once again, the cabinets underneath will be to hide my welder and my torch kit. So really, I think more than what I have, I think something like this is gonna be perfectly fine. Once again, I'm probably gonna keep it around 7 foot like this one here is. And instead of doing cabinets up at the top, I don't think it'll be necessary, but once again, it's gonna be steel, so if I need to, I can still add to it. I may end up doing a piece like this all the way across just to have a shelf up above. I can hang a few of my rigs or mount them up there, and then I can move this shelf here elsewhere. I would like to put maybe a small shelf, or I'm thinking maybe a couple pieces of, just a small piece of pegboard, and then possibly thinking of doing like my cordless drill. And then there is an outlet here that comes down. If I do like my not cordless drill, my cordless impact, I'll be able to keep that thing over there, kind of where all the tools are. And then I would also like to get a cordless impact hammer drill, or impact drill, however you want to pronounce it. So with that, I mean, this is definitely cleared up a lot of space in here. Definitely made a little more room, and then I'm still Still not sure how I'm going to organize all this, but I think it's turning out to be pretty good. I think once I get the tabs welded on and put some boards in here, and then later I'll come back and I'll put some steel on top. The boards basically just being for extra support. And then the rest of the covering and the panels and things like that, that's just going to have to come in due time. This is just taken quite a bit of financial to build this, quite a bit of my time. I did not anticipate it to be this much, but the more I look at it, the more I'm kind of thinking I can make this work. I like it. I think this will do. So I'll also with that toolbox moved over there, it gives me a little more room. I still need to do some organizing on all this over here, but once again, that's going to come after this cabinet is out of the way. So really, for the most part, like I said today, it's been 75 degrees. I've been out doing some yard work, dug a hole, dug up a cemented post, did some front yard work. I cleaned up a little bit in the backyard, and it really wasn't much. It was mainly just little bits of trash. I don't know why, but this has to be the most trash collectingest yard I have ever had. Every single day, there's a new piece of trash in the yard, and I don't know where it all comes from. So aside from that, I mean, that really takes a lot of attention. Within the next couple weeks, being that the weather, I think, is going to be somewhat extremely cooperative, I really need to try to get a hold of a yard tiller and really want to till up the front yard, throw some seed down, and block all that off, and really kind of get that going, especially not that we're in the spring weather, because we really kind of skipped out on winter. I mean, we had a couple nights it got down to 13, 14 degrees, something like that maybe, and then the rest of the time it's been in the 40s, 50s, and believe it or not, at the beginning of this week, I think our high was only 32, 29, something like that, and then today we're 75. Who would have thought? Tonight's low, I think, is going to be like a 34, so I'm not complaining. I would like to see a little more snow, and I would like to see it chill down for a couple more days just to keep that snow on the ground, keep that moisture in for a little while, and then at least good enough to melt the snow off, and then that'll be fine. But that's the update I got for now. Still pretty sure I'm going to keep my bandsaw in the same spot, although I wouldn't be opposed to moving it until I can get the rest of this bench built. I mean, this is going to take, I mean, I was in the last garage for almost 2 years solid. In fact, actually, it was right at 2 years. And it pretty well took that long to get like fully orchestrated in there. I mean, it just, everything comfortable where it was at, constantly didn't like this, so I moved it here, didn't like that, so I moved it there, needed space for this, so, you know, had to rearrange for that. It was a constant battle, but nonetheless, I feel like I got it all done. And once again, I think if I move these cabinets, I may or may not give them away, but I was thinking just right here, all I want is a workbench. Just a small, probably a 6 foot long workbench with piece of pegboard on the back, and then I don't even know if I would need or want any storage underneath it. But I'm thinking if I do, I'll move those cabinets from there. Somewhere along this wall, there's a 2x4 over here that's, I don't know what its intent was when this place was built, but I don't want it there anymore. So I wouldn't be opposed to taking these cabinets and putting them along this. And as you can see, I got a piece of tape here that's run along, and that's kind of my guideline for where I park my pickup. I know I can still squeeze in and out the door, and I can have that much space. So once I get everything else where I think I need to have it or want it, I'm probably just going to do away with those cabinets. And as far as this window, Was for a long time really debating on what I was going to do with it. And I pretty well have come to the conclusion that that workbench is not going to be able to work anywhere else because of the way the floor is shaped. Even if I pull it out 2.5 feet, it goes to where it's unbalanced. It likes to tipsy-turvy, I guess. So with that, what I'd like to do, obviously on the outside of the garage, is not that great. It needs to be redone. So I'd like to put metal siding on the outside. And it's a brand new roof. It's literally only a couple years old, if that. So what I'd like to do is actually just block off that window. And as far as the rest of that stuff goes, I wouldn't be opposed to keeping this one. But once again, I don't know where 7 foot's gonna come out. If it's gonna even look like it's gonna block that window, I'd just soon get rid of it too. I mean, if I really need some fresh air that bad, I've got three overhead doors that I can open. And hopefully what I'd really like to do, at least before next fall, is make sure that I've got this workbench built somewhat usable. Hopefully by then I'll be done with that one, but just get this one where it's functional. And then I would like to readjust that door. I think it's gotten where it's kind of come loose from the bolts and starting to sag on one side or the other, which gives it to where it's got a gap that starts like that and works itself down smaller to that side. And as you can see, I got tape put up around the door just to keep that wind from blowing in. And then I took some foam insulation from random stuff and put it up at the top to really help hold heat. And also, I really need to insulate the walls in here. I think that would help drastically as far as winter time. And once again, during winter, I mean, right now it was 75 out there today. It's almost 70 degrees in here, and I haven't had the heater on in 2-3 days probably. So it's been great. It's been nice. So really, that's kind of my update for now. I got still got some stuff I need to get done with this workbench, but I really think I'm gonna like having my toolbox over here where I can use it, and it's easily accessible even next to my extra set of tires, rims. Once I get all the rest of this stuff on this other side organized, hopefully I can get those moved. And once again, this all falls on arrangement. I may even put a workbench in front of that door or something that I can have it on wheels where if I need to, I can roll it out of the way and then roll it back into place, but still be able to open the door with it in front. Because I'd still like to be able to pull my boat in from the back door or the backyard and then work on it. I'm thinking by way of measurement, I can still pull my boat in and out of here and still have enough room. Even with this workbench here, I've got enough room to pull it straight in and out. So with that, I think that's about all I had to cover. But I'm gonna go close the windows on the house. I think I'm gonna go cook some grub. I had some bacon this morning and that was pretty delicious. So I'm gonna go dig up some grub for dinner and start cooking that. And over the next few days, for sure, I'm gonna have some stuff that I really want to get rid of in the house. There's just a bunch of random stuff. Just stuff that's been hanging around for a couple years. It's kind of like, it was cool when I had it, and then now I just don't want it. I just want to part ways with it and be done and gone. So lots of clothes too. I'm gonna have clothes that I'd like to get rid of or I don't fit in anymore. So with that, I'm probably gonna spend the next, give or take, the week or so kind of working on some of that stuff, packaging it up and advertising it, things like that. So doubt once again that I'm going to be in here much. Once again, this stuff is just really eating at me inside. I just really want to get rid of that stuff and make room and put those finances towards clothes that do fit. So with that, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.